Good evening. On behalf of Hani and myself, I wanted to thank every single one of you here for your support of Smile on Seniors and for joining us this evening to celebrate 10 years, 1 decade of all of our programs and efforts for our community. We're so honored and humbled by your presence this evening. Thank you for joining us. This evening's anniversary celebration would not have happened without the support of so many individuals. So first and foremost, if I can just share some thank yous to our executive committee, Donna Troisi, Pinky and Izzy Lifshitz, Leslie and Brad Levy, Benita Sonnabend, and Dale Sachs. They've invested so much of their time. They've invested so much of their own time to ensure a memorable evening, in addition to their efforts throughout the year on behalf of Smile on Seniors, which is tremendous. So thank you very much. We'd also like to thank Susan and Sava Levy, who from the very beginning they too have been instrumental for Smile on Seniors, and as well for this evening celebration. We outgrew the previous venue, if you don't know that. And they were tremendous as well in securing this larger venue, this larger room, on a very short notice, so thank you. As well, a thank you to Lisa Weiss, my brother Shlomi, and everyone else who helped to make this evening the success that it is, including the Clayton venue, as well as Tom Frankel, and their staff, Sarah Laskin and Claire Loeb, so thank you very much. Hani and I would also like to thank our parents for always being there for us with encouragement and wisdom. And if I can just take this short moment to recognize my mother's birthday.
Happy birthday!
So, happy birthday. We're going to cut that into really small pieces. We are also very honored to have in attendance this evening Connie's parents, who have joined us from Binghamton, New York. Rabbi Arn and Rivki Zlaman, as well as her siblings, Levi and Chaya Mushka, and Chaya Mushka's husband, my brother-in-law Menzel, and as well a very dear friend of the family who has joined us from North Carolina, Randy DePhillips. So thank you so much for flying in for this. I'd also like to thank all of the patrons and sponsors of this evening. Thank you very much for your generosity. We truly cannot do this without you. Thank you. A community is all about inclusiveness. And the beautiful part, as you heard from Donna, and if you have experienced it yourself, you know that Smile on Seniors truly affords every senior to feel welcome and not judged, the feeling of community. To make everyone feel welcomed and to ensure our programs are accessible to all, to give every senior access to their Jewish heritage, to socialize, access to learning and growing, and of course great events and educational classes, to a delicious Shabbat dinner, monthly lunches, friendly visits, and the list goes on and on if you haven't checked out our program guide. Requires financial support, and we have been blessed. We have been blessed by so many individuals from all walks of Jewish life, of all ages, who from the very beginning have partnered in our endeavors and financially supported everything that we have done and sustained Smile on Seniors. And what this does is it enables every single participant to sit together, to eat together, we do that well as Jews, to celebrate together with dignity and pride, and like I like to think of it, with community. So thank you to every single one of you, and to all of our supporters who share in our decade of achievements. Tonight, Connie and I think everyone here are truly celebrating you, so thank you. Importantly, I'd like to recognize one specific group of donors, our monthly committed Chai Club donors. And I have to take the time, sadly, to recognize an individual who, to our community's sadness, returned his soul to his maker last week, just a few days ago. Nate Sachs of blessed memory. Nate was a true friend who truly cared about the success of Smile on Seniors. In 2013, after supporting us financially from the very beginning, from 2009, I had never solicited him. He sat me down, we were at our dinner table at home, we had them over for dinner, and he said, "Levi, pitch to me Smile on Seniors." I remember very well, I didn't do a good job. And he critiqued my pitch. And then he said, "I'm going to give you monthly, but you need to get others to give as well." And he followed up. He cared. He would ask me at the end of each month, how many people signed up? How many people more are giving you? He was very instrumental in founding our current Chai Club, which was, again, monthly committed donors whose monthly gifts are vital to our mission of being there for every single senior. In fact, at our first benefit event, he went over to me and he said, "Hey, Levi, make sure you have a pen and paper," because he was doing the closing. And he said, "You're going to have people coming over to you, just write their names. Make sure you're ready for this." And he pitched the Chai Club. He pitched our monthly committed donor group. And true to his word, people lined up. So this evening, we dedicate our Chai Club to Nate Sachs. And from now on, we will refer to it as the Nate Sachs Legacy Chai Club. He will be missed, but I can tell you that thousands of seniors have already benefited because of him and will benefit because of him. So we are so appreciative, and he will definitely be missed. 10 years of success does not come by itself. It doesn't come because of Hani and me. It takes every single one of our dedicated volunteers. Our volunteers run the gamut. Women, men, teenagers, families, professionals, retirees, who each give to our community in so many different ways. Friendly visits, help at events, Shabbat services in communities. I'm going to just point out one volunteer who told me how much it means that he goes to the Barton House already, I think, 3 or 4 times since he started just doing a Shabbat service, and how much it has changed him. So thank you, Murray. Mahjong, tech tutors, and so many other opportunities that our volunteers get engaged in. So truly, these are the unsung heroes of this evening. So thank you to every single one of our volunteers. Lastly, but most importantly, I would like to thank Hashem, God, who has blessed us in so many ways. We truly see the divine providence, or as we say in Hebrew, hashgacha pratit, and how everything is meant to be. Things that we thought weren't successful were truly doors opening. Sometimes patience is not one of my virtues. So we pray that God will continue to bestow His blessings upon us for decades to come, as we go from strength to strength in everything. So I just wanted to share a l'chaim to every single one of you, and to those that couldn't make it, but who celebrate our success because you're a part of it, you're partners. And we wish you the very best to life, to health, to enjoy it with your children, your families, and every blessing that you need. L'chaim. 11 years ago, if you had asked Hani or myself where we saw ourselves in 11 years, we knew that we wanted to be part of the Chabad's global in-reach arm, as I call it, sharing our love for every Jew, no matter their background, their affiliation, level of observance, or even knowledge. And the way we envisioned it was the typical, what I call the typical Chabad house. You're in a specific area, a geographic location, and you service the needs of your community. Never in our wildest dreams did we ever think about just focusing on Jewish seniors and active adults. It was unheard of. The Jewish community, as many of you know, was focusing on youth, young professionals, teens, families, but seniors? Then my father, representing Chabad of Arizona, said, "I'd like you to move to Phoenix, but to focus on seniors." We were very excited, but I will be honest, we were very narrow-minded. And after 2 months of living in Phoenix, our eyes were wide open. It was a simple question in a retirement community that truly changed our lives forever, and I think brought all of us together. It was a simple question to a woman, the activity director in a retirement community called the Stratford, that changed Arizona's Jewish community forever. That question was, what are you doing for Hanukkah? What are you doing for your Jewish residents that live in the Stratford for Hanukkah? And the answer was nothing. Because this is a good Gentile woman who truly cared about her residents. Her name was Ronnie Gottschall. I don't know if Stuart remembers her. She didn't know anything about throwing a Hanukkah party. Christmas party, easy. But a Hanukkah party? And from there, it went to the next Jewish holiday, to Purim. And then to Pesach. And then to Shavuot. You get where I'm going with this. It started then with 3 senior living communities that Hanukkah. And then we began to reach out to more. Today, over 40 communities benefit from Smile on Seniors. And the list is growing. Just last month, we began servicing a new community. But it didn't end there, because we were still narrow-minded. Only seniors living in senior living communities were benefiting from our programs and from all of our offerings. Or homebound seniors were benefiting from family visits. It was truly another question that changed the Jewish community. Connie wanted to host a Shabbat dinner. She said, we visit all these retirement communities. We can't do a Shabbat dinner there. But how about if we hosted it and they brought their residents, they brought all of their active seniors to our center for a Shabbat dinner. So we asked these communities, would you bring your residents? Truly a possible logistics headache, but a treat. And they said yes. So we made that invite public. And what did we have? We had a group of independent active seniors who were in attendance at that first Shabbat dinner. And it hit us. We were only focusing on seniors living in communities. But what about everyone else? What about all the active adults and seniors living independently throughout the valley? So from Shabbat dinners, we began offering monthly lunches, happy hours, sip and schmooze. And if you look at some of our pictures on the timeline, you'll see some of these events. That was a pitch. Please do check out our timeline later. Thanksgiving dinner, Super Bowl parties, tech tutoring, classes, and on and on and on. Our program guide truly says it all, and we're always happy to listen to ideas. Who would have guessed that at our first Shabbat dinner with 30-something seniors in attendance, that we would have monthly Shabbat dinners with more in attendance than our beautiful crowd this evening? These 2 questions have not only changed our community, they changed communities around the world. We get asked often by Jewish communities in many different cities and even countries, how can they do it? And Hani and I are always happy to help. On a more personal level, these 2 questions have changed me and my family. It has changed the lives of our volunteers, and it has changed the lives of our community seniors. I was just speaking with a 95-year-old woman. She was so excited. She had just ordered her first lift. She is independent because of one of our programs called Tech Tutors. That gave her independence. I was so touched. This Tuesday, a woman who volunteers with our friendly visits, a soon-to-be grandmother, was asked by her senior friend's daughter, what will she have her future grandchild call her? Will it be Bubby? Will it be Grandma? So she answered, she said, Grammy. Just like your mom was called. She so adored and loved her new friend. And because of Smile on Seniors, her new friendship changed her. There's a classic joke. 3 friends are discussing what they would like to be shared at their funeral. What would they like people to say about them? So the first friend says, I would really like that on my funeral, whoever is speaking is going to talk about how caring I was and how much I love my family. The second friend says, I'd like them to talk about how much I was involved in community and I was charitable. And the third friend thinks for a second. He says, I'd like them to say, look, he's moving. I thought about that joke and wondered, 10 years, what did we want our future now to look like? And we look back at 10 years and look to the future. Where do we want to be? Where are our goals? And of course, I think the first thing is we're never satisfied with our current success. We want to reach more Jewish seniors throughout the valley. We want to double our efforts and offerings. But I do think that I would love to see a wedding. I would love to see two people who met through our program get married. I can tell you that I don't want to do a baby naming. Unless it's for their grandchild. We'd also love to add programming like Bar Mitzvah program for seniors, as well as a seniors trip to Israel. And by the way, if you have suggestions for other programs, we're listening. But what we'd really like to see in the next 10 years is to have a home. To build a building, a center for Jewish senior life with schmoozing, I think that's top on the list. A place to socialize, a home for lifelong learning, a gathering place to call home. A few weeks ago, I received this note from Marcia. I met Marcia at one of my classes that we do at the JCC, who has been partnering with us for many years, and we appreciate that partnership as well. And this was her note. Dear Rabbi Levi and Chani, thank you so much for your kindness, compassion, and warmth. We have missed this Yiddishkeit since we moved to Arizona. Last night was such a wonderful experience, so much so that we are returning tonight with 3 more members of our family. And she continues in her note, Smile on Seniors is so important to alleviate the feeling of isolation and not belonging of so many of us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Signed, Marcia and David. That question that we asked at the Stratford 10 years ago about Hanukkah has positively changed my life and our community forever. Your presence today and your partnership and financial support will change our future and our community's future for the next decades as we grow by leaps and bounds together. Thank you very much.